Hello, algebra students. Mr. Lawrence here, and we are going to learn a new type of linear equation. We already know slope-intercept form. If you recall, slope-intercept form looks like this. Hold on, let me put the title down. Slope-intercept. By the way, if you're starting to get confused with this, have you made any flashcards to remember what this stuff looks like? Might be a really smart idea. Make some flashcards up, practice, memorize the forms. So in slope-intercept form, we have to have the y alone. And when we have the y alone for a linear equation, we know the y-intercept and we know the slope, right? Now standard form looks a little bit different. Standard form looks like this, where we have a number times x plus a number times y, and that equals a number c. A and B are coefficients, C is a constant. So let's take a look at these different equations I have written up here, and let's see which ones look like they're in slope-intercept form. Well, let's see, y is alone here. That must be a slope-intercept equation. Okay, y is not alone here. Y is alone here. There's another slope-intercept equation. Okay, y is alone here. All right. Now, this one, y is not alone yet, so it's not in slope-intercept form. I could divide everything by 2, which is a smart idea. If I divide by 2, but I have to distribute that and divide by 2 everywhere, and then I get y equals 3x plus 2. So that would be in slope-intercept form, right? Okay. Now, let's look for the ones that have an ax, a by, and a c. Well, I see an ax here. I see a by and a c right there. Now, it's negative, but that's okay. It could be a negative. All right. Ax, by, c. There we go. Ax plus by equals c. All right, Ax, by, c. And so these are all standard form. And of course, this one over here, oops, I don't want to bring the division by 2, would be slope-intercept form after I divide by 2, but not before. Now we're in standard form. There's a different approach to graphing. But before we actually get to the graphing, let's convert some of these to standard form. Oh, there's something I forgot to tell you. When you're in standard form, A must be positive. So A has to be greater than 0. The A must be positive. Did you hear that, Zach? A must be positive. Tommy, were you listening? A must be positive. Hey, Stephen, did I forget to tell you? A must be 0. Oh, Cameron, there's something I wanted to tell you. I can't remember. A must be greater than 0. A must be positive. Did I say the wrong thing to somebody? Stephen, I apologize. A must be greater than 0. It must be positive. Ailita, are you listening? A must be positive. Okay, so let's come over here and let's take a look at this first one here. I've got AX, BY, and C, but the A is not positive. A is negative, so I am going to multiply by -1 on both sides. And when I do that, my new equation becomes 3x minus 2y equals -7. And now this purple equation is in standard form. Okay, number 2, there's a problem. I want ax plus by equals c. I want the x and y on the left-hand side of the equal sign. Well, right now, I have the y and constant on the same side of the equal sign. So I want to get rid of this y. I don't want it to be on the right-hand side. I want it to be over here. I'm going to subtract 7y from both sides. And when I do that, I'll get 2x minus 7y equals 14. And now I am in standard form. This one here can be positive or negative on the B. Okay, number 3. Remember, I want ax plus by equals c. Looks like this is in the wrong place. I'm going to subtract a 6x from both sides. And I'll get -6x plus 3y equals -8, except a isn't positive, so I need to multiply through by a -1. So I'll distribute a -1 on the left, multiply by -1 on the right, and we will get 6x minus 3y equals 8. And again, it's only coincidence that all the y's ended up being negative, all the b terms. Okay, now to graph from standard form, I'm going to recommend that you use an input-output table. It won't be a very big input-output table. I'm going to have x, and I'm going to have y. Okay, and the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to put 0 into this equation right here for x. And so when I do that, I'm going to get 3 times 0 minus 2y equals 12. Well, 3 times 0 is 0, so this cancels out. And now I have negative 2y equals 12. I'll divide both sides by -2, and then y will equal -6. So there is my first point. Now, that'll be the y-intercept, won't it? 0, -6. So I'm going to go 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. There we go. There's the first point, the y-intercept. Next, I'm going to plug 0 in for y. Yeah, I can do that. I'm going to put 0 in here. And I'm going to get 3x minus 2 times 0 equals 12. Well, 2 times 0 is 0. This cancels out, leaving me 3x equals 12. I'll divide by 3. X will equal 4. So I will go to 1, 2, 3, 4. I have 2 points. I can draw my line. I'm going to draw my line. And I want to point something out to you. It's actually kind of cool. You may not use it, may not want to use it, but you certainly are allowed to if you understand it. Okay, what do you think the slope of this line is? Well, let's see here. I'm going to rise 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and run 1, 2, 3, 4. So my slope is 6/4, which simplifies to 3 over 2. Now check this out. If I say A is 3 and B is -2, I can put the 3 over -2, and if I change the sign on the A, those two cancel out and I get the slope. What I'm telling you is to find the slope, you can divide the negative of A by B, and you will get the slope. So if you check this out, watch. I'm going to rise 1, 2, 3, run 1, 2, and look at that, I hit the line. If I go down here, rise 1, 2, 3, run 1, 2, I'm on the line. Pick any point. Well, we'll say this point right here. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, boom. I'm on the line. Oh, excuse me. All right, let's try this one. Remember, I'm going to make an input-output table. It's going to be a small input-output table. My output will be y. I'm going to put 0 in for x. When I do that, 5 times 0 plus 3y equals 30. That cancels. I have 3y equals 30. I'll divide by 3. Y will equal 10. My y-intercept is at 0, 10, which ends up being right there. To do the x-intercept, I'm going to put 0 in for y. And when I do that, I'm going to get 5x plus 3 times 0, which equals 30. Those cancel. 5x equals 30. Divide by 5. Divide by 5. X will equal 6. Okay, so now I can graph 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. There we go. And if I want to draw my line, there we go. There we go. All right. Now, if I check my slope, it looks like I'm going to go down 10 and write 6. So my slope will be negative 10 over positive 6, which will simplify to negative 5/3. Well, let's see here. Look at that. If I take the negative of A and I put it over B, I get the slope, negative 5/3. That is not a coincidence. And then I can find other points. So I could go down from this point here, the y-intercept, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and over 1, 2, 3, and look at that, I'm right on the line. Okay, let's try two more. Problem with these is they're not in standard form yet. So I'm going to convert them to standard form. I need x and y on the same side, so I'm going to subtract 2y from each side. Okay, so I have 5x minus 2y, and that'll equal 20. And I'm not going to show all the gory details for this. I expect you to be able to do it. In fact, if you pause the video and try to figure out y when x is 0 and try to figure out x when y is 0, I think that would be a really smart thing to do. So let's see here. Let me hold on one second. Okay, so here's what's going on in my mind when I do this. X is 0, which means this will be covered up. It's not there anymore. So now I just have to divide by negative 2. Well, 20 divided by negative 2 is negative 10. So when x is 0, y is negative 10. Now, to do the y-intercept, or the x-intercept, I'll cover up the other one. There we go. And so I have the equation 5x equals 20. Well, if I divide both sides by 5, I get x equals 4. There are my two intercepts, 0, negative 10, which is down here, and then 4, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, now if I want to rise 10 and run 4, rise 10, 1, 2, 3, 4. There we go, that looks good. I should be able to draw a pretty accurate line given the 3 points. And again, I haven't used the slope, but on the next one I think I will. Okay, and there we go. Okay, let's take a look at this one here. We're not in slope-intercept form because the x is on the wrong side. Excuse me, we're not in standard form, so I'm going to subtract 2x from both sides. And I'm going to subtract 2x plus 6y, and that'll equal, sorry, I forgot to do it there. That'll equal negative 12. Now, we're still not in standard form because the a is not positive. So I'm going to multiply through by negative 1. When I multiply through by negative 1, I'm going to get 2x minus 6y, and that'll equal 12. All right, now, again, to use my input-output table idea, I need x and y. X will be 0, y will be 0, and let's see here. Okay, where's, oh, bring it to the front. There we go. So when x is 0, y will be negative 2, right? Because 12 divided by negative 6. And then I'll need to find out when y is 0. Looks like x is going to be 6. 2x equals 12 means x is 6. So now I can graph my line. 0, negative 2 is down here. 6, 0, 3, 4, 5, 6 is right there. It looks like I'm rising 2 and running 6, so I could go down 2 and run 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 right there. Negative 6, and now I have 3 points. Okay. There we go. We're done. I can check the slope. I said I was going to use it and I did, and I apologize. Looks like my slope would be -2 over -6, which would be positive 1/3. Let's check it out here. If I go up 1 and write 1, 2, 3, yeah, I hit the line. Up 1, 1, 2, 3, I hit the line. There we go. All right, so that is graphing from standard form, being able to write in standard form, and that's how we do it. All right, Mr. Lawrence signing off. Have a good night, everybody.